Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. I am Adam. We are live. This is the Premier League review. Hope you guys are doing well. Now I am experimenting a little bit here. I'm trying something new in terms of software and how I'm running the new live streams. So if we have any technical difficulties, then you will have to bear with me. But we are live now. I can see that we are live, as you can hear. My phone's going off. And yeah, how are you guys doing? We've just seen Everton draw 1-1 with Manchester City. Wayne Rooney bagging his 200th goal. We've also seen Stoke play Arsenal and a whole host of other games this weekend as well. And in the Premier League review, we're going to be talking about all those things. Here are the results. So, those are the results that have gone down this weekend. Swansea 0, Manchester United 4, Bournemouth 0, Watford 2. We've had Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 1, Leicester 2, Brighton 0, Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 0, Southampton 3, West Ham 2, Stoke 1, Arsenal 0, Huddersfield 1, Newcastle 0, Tottenham 1, Chelsea 2, and of course Man City 1, Everton 1, which was the latest stream that we've just done. So, latest game that's just gone down. So, this is what we're talking about today. All these games here. I need to use my right hand, don't I? All these games here is what we're talking about today. Now, you've already heard my new opinion. My opinion on the Manchester United result against Swansea. So, of course, we're not going to talk about that too much. But we're going to be answering a whole host of your questions, as well as talking about all these results, as well as going through the fancy Premier League stuff as well. So we got an action-packed show for you guys here on Adam McKola TV. And I'm going to dive into your comments. While I look into your comments, hit that like button. Get hitting that like button if you like the Premier League review being done this way. Or do you want me to do the Premier League review how I did it last week? Let me know your thoughts on that. Tomorrow, we've got Wally of the Week coming up. So get your nominations in the comments as well. And of course, later in the week, we've got Weird Wide Web. Saw my mate the other day. Jack Wall's liking the new layout. Why So Blue, says Jan Al. Obviously, all my streams are red coloured and all this for Manchester United. So I wanted to make the Premier League videos look a little bit different, and blue's the colour I went for. But look, Manchester United have worn that blue before. That blue reminds me of beating Arsenal 3-1 in the Champions League. Didn't Aguero do the same with Rojo, says Matt. Yes, Aguero has got a record for doing that, hasn't he? Aguero is a player I really wanted United to sign before he joined City, said Zane. Pereira on loan, says Jack. We'll talk about that later. What was Jose doing at the City match, says Joe McDonald. I'd imagine he'll be visiting a lot of Premier League matches and scouting Premier League teams. In about 3 weeks' time, we have got Everton at Old Trafford, so it's probably for that reason. Happy birthday to Yakub, whose birthday is tomorrow. And Mark Harris says Calvert-Lewin made the most of that. He did indeed. So it's probably fair all around. Thanks for recommending Mobdro, says Ronan. No problem, mate. And Aguero for Wally of the Week, says Marco. He's done his team a favour, to be fair. Mobile Monkey says Kyle Walker. And Andy Taylor says Welbeck for Wally of the Week. Loving the chest hair, Adam. There is a lot of it on show today, isn't there? Let me fix that up. What the hell am I doing? Getting the old Giggsies out today, ain't I? Jordan Clegg says he fucking loves bacon. And Tayab says he is back. So, have you hit that like button yet? Let me see what's going on in the comments. And the first game that we are going to talk about is obviously Bournemouth 0, Watford 2. And I think Marco Silva's side could have won 3-4-0 that day. I thought they were absolutely fantastic. Now, if you see my Premier League predictions, you would have saw that I stupidly put Watford in the relegation zone. I hadn't realised that they had got Marco Silva in. For some reason, I thought they had someone else in charge. Marco Silva's a fantastic coach. Did a great job with Hull last season. Almost saved them. And having had a full pre-season with Watford, having brought in a few decent players as well, he has got them playing very, very well. They got a point against Liverpool in their opening game, and they can continue to do that, getting a 2-0 victory as well, with their new Brazilian getting a goal. So it was an interesting game. Bournemouth haven't had the best of starts to the season. I think they've got 1 or 0 points. They haven't won any games, that's for sure. And Eddie Howe's side, they've got 0 points because they lost to West Bromwich Albion in the first game. And Eddie Howe's side, obviously it's 2 games into the season. You can't get worried this early for them. But they're looking to lack that goal threat. And they're not really creating many chances for their strikers. Although they did miss a few at the weekend, you'd expect them to create them at home. But yeah, I just can't. Bournemouth, are they going to stay up this year? Are they going to be involved in a relegation battle? What do you guys think about that? And Bournemouth, do you think they will be involved? Newcastle are shite, said Petulia. Half empty. Etihad was empty. And Mustafa says Etihad. Azar and Assad, how you doing? Thank you for watching the videos. Jack Wall says Chalobah is a great signing for Watford. He missed the sitter, didn't he? But it was a very, very good signing for them. Producer Chris online one says Marco Ramos. No, it's not. And it's not the girlfriend calling me because she's downstairs. Not a bad week. Arsenal lose and City win. So those are your comments coming through. Kapuri's goal was a screamer, says Jack Wall. And that was an absolute screamer as well. Nomination for goal of the weekend? Maybe. Could be. It was a very, very good goal. Daniel Sterling says he's staying up. Good, nice one, mate. Thank you for staying up with us. And if we keep playing like this, the title is ours, says Sumo Fish. Yes, having seen the game today between Manchester City and Everton, obviously seeing Manchester City drop points. Out of all the big clubs, United are the only one that haven't dropped points yet. But like I say, we're only 2 games in, so nothing to get carried away with yet. We've got over 200 people in at the moment, so thank you very much for locking in. Make sure you're hitting that like button and make sure you're getting your comments in as well. Hope you are all doing very, very well. I think Brighton will be close to the bottom, but with this league, you can never tell, says Minaj. McLaren says Arsenal aren't rivals, doesn't matter if they've dropped points. And back in the house with Adam, says the damn family. Yes, we are back in the house. A new look show today. Obviously, the Premier League review I did last week was pre-recorded. And with the Man City and Everton game being late today, and with me wanting to test this new software, I thought it worked quite well for me to do both. So I've done both at once. Tanaka says, random question, you like Kendrick Lamar? Yes, I do love Kendrick Lamar. Obviously, his recent album, Damn, was quality. But I still bump his old stuff, Good Kid, Mad City. That's one of my favourite hip-hop albums, rap albums of a long, long time. So, yeah, great artist is Kendrick. Newcastle going down, says Bilgy. And the second game we're going to talk about today is Burnley 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. And West Bromwich Albion have recorded their second 1-0 victory in 2 weeks. Now, obviously, Tony Pulis, the master of the defensive arts, some would say. He doesn't play the best of football. But against Burnley are a side who beat Chelsea, had a week's rest, are a very good side at home. West Bromwich Albion got a very, very good result. Hal Robson-Carney with the goal, coming off the bench to score a goal, and then getting sent off as well, which was probably annoying for him. But West Bromwich Albion held on and still got the 3 points. So it was a very good result for West Bromwich Albion, one of the only teams with a full 6 points at this moment in time. Obviously, Manchester United are one of those. Huddersfield are the other ones that are like that. And I think it's just 3 at the moment. Let me have a look. Yes, it's just 3 teams with maximum points. And then 4th, you've got Watford. And 5th, you've got Man City, who have also got 4 points as well. We've got over 300 people in the house at the moment. I'll be hitting up your comments in a little bit. We're going to talk about Leicester. Now, obviously, Leicester City have looked a little bit better recently under Craig Shakespeare. Since Ranieri went, they seem to, obviously, they got rid of the relegation worries. But you always fear with a caretaker manager that when he becomes the full-time manager, that he'll get problems and he's not the players' friends anymore, and, you know, they stop playing for him, etc., etc. But Leicester City are still playing, and I've got to point out that he has handled Riyad Mahrez fantastically well. Riyad Mahrez has been linked with Roma a few times. He could have moved to Roma by now. He may still go there or to another club. He's been linked with teams elsewhere, but he's still performing for Leicester City. And he had a hand in one of their goals as well. So that's in Okazaki's goal, which came quite early. So it's refreshing to see from a player that may have had his head turned, He's keeping his head down, playing his football. And look, if he moves, happy days. But if he doesn't, Leicester City still have a player that's not, thrown his toys out of the pram and is still trying to play football. We're very close to 100 likes, so get hitting that like button. Get sharing this video as well. And if you're new to the channel, get hitting that subscribe button. We are 429 subscribers from 40k. Can we hit 40k this week? I'm sure we can. So get hitting that like button. I'm seeing Marstar, I'm seeing Jay O'Connell, I'm seeing Andy Taylor in the house. Hope you guys are all doing well, and thank you for joining us on the Premier League review tonight. A new look Adam McKola show. I'm trying to mix things up a little bit and change things around, and I've managed to get my grips with some new software that I'm testing out today. So thank you for bearing with us as well, and hopefully it's a much more smoother stream. Adam, can Huddersfield stay up? They've played well for the past 2 games, says Mustafa. We will talk about Huddersfield very soon. That was one of the Sunday fixtures. We're going to talk about Liverpool now. They got a 1-0 win against Crystal Palace, and to be fair, they weren't convincing at all. Jurgen Klopp rested quite a few players with the Champions League game coming up, especially in the back line anyway. And Benteke had a sitter in the game, which he should have buried. He didn't. Crystal Palace have a good record at Anfield. And after the result against Huddersfield in De Boer's first game in the Premier League, I was expecting Crystal Palace to go there and get turned over. So I was surprised by their performance. But given the way the game went, they should have and maybe could have got something out of the game. Jurgen Klopp will be delighted, though, that they got a result. And it was a good result for Liverpool, especially with them having that game against Hoffenheim either side of it. And, of course, having dropped points against Watford. So for them to hold on to a 1-0, keep a clean sheet as well, that's good for them. But if Jurgen Klopp's going to change things up and constantly rotate his back four like that, I can see Liverpool dropping quite a few points if they get into the Champions League group stages, which looks likely at the moment with them taking a 2-1 lead into the home game. So it was an interesting game. Our boy Timothy Fosu-Mensah got another game under his belt as well. So that's another 90 minutes for him, and that was good to see from the boy Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Jack Wall says Timbo's looking solid. Daniel says Liverpool are dead. Walker for Wally of the Week says WWE fan. Klopp is much better than Pep. Believe it, says Nima. United will do a quadruple, says Levi, getting really excited at the moment. Who's going live on Full-Time Devils at 11, says Usman. It's not me. Oh my God, Paul Mac. What? Zach, get out of here with that. Is Full-Time Devils my channel, says Asim. It is not. Keeper's dead, says Daniel Sterling. Everyone dead. Klopp the Flop, says Rajat Deep, sorry. Will we sign Perisic or Bale, and for how much? Sumo Fish, I don't think we're going to make any more signings in this transfer window, to be totally honest with you. And I'm not totally against that. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Marstar says Timbo was going nowhere at United. Love to see him getting the playtime he deserves at Palace. I tend to agree with you there. It's great to see Timothy Fosu-Mensah getting minutes under his belt. That's exactly what we want to see from him. Whether Crystal Palace win or not, I don't really give 2 shits, to be honest. I hope they don't get relegated so he has a better experience at Crystal Palace. But him getting 90 minutes week in, week out is what he needs. And as long as he performs, that's all that matters. And in his first 2 games, he hasn't done too badly. I haven't watched the whole of the 2 games. But from what I have seen of those 2 games, he's done well at times in both of them. So well done to Timothy Fosu-Mensah, and I hope it continues as well. Moving on from that, and probably the game of Saturday anyway, it was probably the game of the weekend, Southampton against West Ham. Now, I predicted West Ham to win this game, and I think if Arnautovic didn't get sent off, then West Ham go on and win this game. As you saw after Southampton went 2-0 ahead, Javier Hernandez bagging 2 goals, bringing West Ham back into the game, and then fucking Zabaleta goes and messes up, pushes a defender, gives away a penalty after their hard work to get back into the game. Southampton score. What I loved about that was Joe Hart was giving it the big one, going up to Austin as he was taking it. Noble goes up to him, has a word in Austin's ear. Austin buries Joe Hart, who was giving it the big one and then looked like a knobhead. Noble looks like a knobhead because he told Austin which way Joe Hart was going to go, which made Austin change his mind. And then Austin buried it. So is Mark Noble Wally of the Week? Is Joe Hart Wally of the Week? Are they contenders for Wally of the Week? Get your comments in about those guys. Of course, as well, Javier Hernandez bagged 2 goals, which was good for me. I had a few comments. Saying, Adam, Javier Hernandez has scored. That's not good for you, is it? Why not? He's in my fantasy team. Even though I don't like Javier Hernandez, whatever, he's in my fantasy team at the end of the day. And he's got me goals. Get hitting that like button. We have got over 360 people in the live stream at the moment. You're all absolute fucking legends. But I'm sure we can get this stream to over 100 likes. So get hitting that like button right now. We've got over 100 likes, but I'm sure we can get more than that. We can get 200. Anyway, Zach, I was going to say thanks for your comment, but it's a little bit of a suspect one. Wenger for Wally of the Week says Usman. Noble Wally of the Week says Manchester is red. Daniel Sterling says Hart. And Noble told his, yes, Arnautovic or Wenger for Wally of the Week. Arnautovic is a good shout as well. Well done on that one. And then we come on to Stoke against Arsenal. Now, Stoke won, Arsenal 0. Jesse Rodriguez with a debut goal, winning the game. Decent finish it was as well. Great move, great goal. Well done to him. But Arsenal have lost at Stoke, a place where they had a reasonable record in the last couple of years. But Stoke seem to all generally get the better of them every now and then and pull a result out of the bag. Probably like Swansea to Manchester United. But Stoke usually do that by fighting Arsenal, by kicking them off the park. And Arsenal don't like it like that. But this Stoke side is different. This Stoke side tries to play football. Now, I know they weren't playing the greatest football, and I know they weren't, playing tiki-taka stuff through the middle. But they're not that rough and tough, aggressive team that Stoke City used to be. They try and play football now. And Arsenal couldn't still take their chances. Danny Welbeck missing sitter after sitter. Reminding me of how much he frustrated us when he was at Old Trafford, even though I did love him. But it reminded how much he frustrated us when he was at Old Trafford. And then you're looking at fucking the chances they miss. Lacazette scores, offside. And then Arsenal fans, you had Martin Keown on the telly. You had fucking Arsene Wenger in his interview. You had all the Arsenal fans moaning about this decision, getting rulers out and all this bollocks. Absolute delusion. You had all this going on. He was offside. If he wasn't offside, I can fucking understand it. But he was offside. He was offside. It's like those people that say the earth's flat. You show them a picture of the globe and they're like, nah, but it's flat. But there's a picture of it, but now it's flat. But that's a picture of it, but now it's flat. That's a picture of it. And it's like, yo, here's a picture, look. He's offside. Nah, he's not offside. He was onside. It's so close. The linesman must have guessed. So what if he guessed? He got the decision fucking right. Why are you criticising a linesman for getting a decision right? And it's not like Lacazette came from in front of the defender. He came from behind the defender. So you pausing that. You're not showing the fact that Lacazette's made a decision easy by coming from behind him. And the funny thing is, Lacazette at one point was offside and Ramsey was through. Where's your brain? People call Lukaku dumb or whatever. But what has Lacazette done there? He cost Arsenal in that game as well. When Ramsey was through, he took the ball. He was offside. Ramsey wasn't. He should have left it to Ramsey. Arsenal equalised. He didn't. So Lacazette has not only cost them a point, well, it's cost them more than that. Because, Rifat, thank you. Jarry says it was offside. People say flat, says James. Arsenal fans are idiots, says Ronak. Jesse says drop a diss track. I don't drop diss tracks. All them knobheads on YouTube dropping diss tracks. They might feature in Weird Wide Web real soon. Yes, WWE fan, thank you for getting involved. Get hitting that like button as well, guys. Come on, we have got 400 people in now as well. Thank you all for joining us here on Adam McKola TV. We are live for the Premier League review. Yes, this is the chat show on the channel where we talk about everything that's happened in the Premier League this weekend. So not just Manchester United. So far, we've spoken about Bournemouth against Watford and Marco Silva's side. What can he do with Watford this year? Can he spring a surprise and get them fighting in that top half of the table? Who knows? But they've had a bright start to the season. And then we were speaking about Burnley and West Bromwich Albion. West Bromwich Albion, one of only 3 sides to have 6 points out of 6, 2 1-0 wins, 1 home, 1 away against Bournemouth, against Burnley. Burnley, who are generally very good at home, and on the back of a win against Chelsea. What can Tony Pulis do with West Bromwich Albion? And a West Bromwich Albion, can they keep this up? Can they? Or is it a false kind of start for them? And then we're looking at Leicester under Shakespeare. We're talking about the Riyad Mahrez move as well. It looks like he's going to go, but how refreshing is it to see a player like Riyad Mahrez, who's been offered big moves to teams that are playing in Europe, and to knock them down? Well, not turn down the moves, but keep playing, keep his head down, keep playing, not complain. If the move happens, happy days for him. But if it doesn't, he's playing in the Premier League at a decent level, and it's great to see from him. Liverpool against Crystal Palace, a good result for Jurgen Klopp's men. But he decided to rest a few players in that defence. Is that sign of things to come if Liverpool progress in the Champions League? And can they hold on to 1-0 wins like that at home anymore? Because, I mean, their defence is usually very, very shaky. What do they need to do in the rest of the window to strengthen? So get your comments in about Liverpool. We spoke about Southampton against West Ham, that 3-2 win. Is Noble Wally of the Week for telling Charlie Austin where Joe Hart was going to go after Joe Hart had given it the big one and then got buried by Austin to give Southampton the 3-2 win after Javier Hernandez's brace had brought a 10-man West Ham into the side. Is Arnautovic Wally of the Week. Then we spoke about Stoke against Arsenal to wrap up Saturday's games, and Stoke getting that victory with Jesse Rodriguez's goal. Are Arsenal fans Wally of the Week? Is Arsene Wenger Wally of the Week? Is Lacazette Wally of the Week? Or is the linesman Wally of the Week? I'm saying that was fucking definitely offside, and Arsenal fans need to quit complaining about a decision that was fucking right. Get over it. And now we move on to Sunday's games. Now we have got 434 people in at the moment. Thank you very much for joining us on this new look show on Adam McKola TV, where we're talking Premier League Game Week 2. A little bit later on in the show as well, I'll be giving you the updated table in the Adam McKola Fantasy Premier League. The updated table in the Adam McKola Fantasy Premier League, and of course giving you my points for this week, as well as the code. If you haven't got into the league yet, then you'll have your chance to join the league when I give you the code a little bit later on today. So get hitting that like button, guys. Get sharing this video. Get your friends involved and get subscribing to Adam McKola TV. We're trying to hit 40k as soon as possible, and we're 424 off hitting that target right about now. We're 23 minutes into today's show, so we need to push on, get on to Sunday's game. And the first of Sunday's games was Huddersfield 1, Newcastle 0. So we're going to talk about that right about now. But before we move on to that, I will dive into your comments. DT Wally of the Year, says Usman. DT Wally of the Century, says Jesse Hitman. We ain't doing Wally of the Century nomination yet, so hold tight on them. Adam is Wally of the Weekend, says Ilshad. Adam, where's your Guinness? I haven't got a Guinness. I've got some Coca-Cola here, which I need a drink of, and it's finished now. Widge of the Week. House and Wally of the Week, says Jordan. City need to fire Pepe. Is not a good coach, says Sanasi. If United win the Premier League this year, what special video would you do? We are the champions video, obviously. Me just gloating and cussing every single one out there. Pep Wally of the Week for buying another shite goalie. Pundits wiping City's arse for them. Any Manchester United transfer news today, says Kumar, not that I know of. And Jesse jumping in with Bruno Amorim. He asked that question quite a lot. I do not know much about that. And Lukaku is baller of the week, says Mustafa. Am I going on the True Geordie channel, says Asim. I don't know about that, mate. If he wants to ask me, I'll go on it because I like True Geordie, but he hasn't asked me, so at the moment, I'm not going on it. We're close to 200 likes, so get hitting that like button, and we're close to 500 viewers in tonight's show. Thank you all for joining us here on Adam McKola TV. You're all absolute legends. So now we're moving on to that Huddersfield 1, Newcastle 0 game, and Rafa Benitez's side suffering another defeat. That's 0 points out of 6 after their defeat against Tottenham. And Huddersfield with 6 points out of 6, beating Crystal Palace 3-0, beating Newcastle 1-0 after a fantastic goal by Aaron Moore. It was a superb finish into the far corner. It was a game that was lacking a lot of quality, to be fair. I thought, what's that? Joselu, who came on for Newcastle, I thought he looked decent, and I think he could score a few goals for them this season. I like Ayoze Perez, but he missed an absolute sitter as well. And Newcastle look like they're lacking goals under Rafa Benitez, and they're looking like they're lacking ideas. They've topped their team with a lot of championship players, and to get new players in, they're going to have to get players out. And it looks like they haven't done that so far. So Newcastle may be involved in a bottom of the half table battle, but with Rafa Benitez, you'd expect them to probably come out of it all right in the end. Huddersfield, on the other hand, could they surprise me and stay up? I predicted Huddersfield to go down. Now, if you guys know about Cheeky Sport, you'll know about Cheeky Sport. Ak. Now, if you know about Ak, he's a cheeky motherfucker. And Ak, me and Ak were talking, and we were talking about Huddersfield, and I obviously predicted them to get relegated. And every time Huddersfield win, he messaged me like, you still think Huddersfield are going to get relegated? So maybe I could have been wrong on that one too. But let me know in the comments below. We are over 200 likes now, so thank you very much for doing that. And we're very close to 39,600 subscribers. We're 419 away from 40k, so we're going to hit that any day soon, but let's hope it's sooner rather than later, because we need to set another target, guys. Come on, let's be doing this. Right, United playing the best football this season, says Shoaib. Gale is overrated by Newcastle fans, says Jack. 4-1 United, 4-0 it was, Andy. Unless you mean against Leicester, maybe, who knows. Any more comments there? I swear Stones is fucking overrated, says Abdi. Tell me something I don't know. And what do I think of the Aussie Aaron Moy, says Caelan Breyer? I haven't seen too much of him, to be totally honest with you. Just what we've seen in the Premier League. And I've seen a few... Did he play for Huddersfield? I don't think he played for Huddersfield last year, so I wouldn't have seen him for Huddersfield last year. But he's looking good so far. His finish was absolutely fantastic. And I'm looking forward to seeing him more. He keeps things simple as well, which is what I like. Short, sharp passing. And he looks like he's got technical ability. So let's see. Let's see if we get some more from him. Moving on from that to Spurs 1, Chelsea 2. Spurs' Wembley hoodoo continues. What is going on with Spurs? What is going on with Pochettino's side at Wembley? They haven't got the greatest of records. Their Champions League form was absolutely awful there. They lost against Chelsea there in the FA Cup semi-final last year. And they've lost against Chelsea again. The Chelsea side that was depleted. No Hazard, no Cahill, no Fabregas. And the goals came from Alonso. One was a fantastic free kick. One was a shot, which Hugo Lloris should have saved. Hugo Lloris, funnily enough, is in my fantasy Premier League side. The bastard conceded that goal and costing me more points. But Alonso won him 3 points. Probably not the first time he's got 3 points. And yeah, what do you make of that? Chelsea getting the 3 points, their first 3 points of the season after that defeat against Burnley. Probably what Conte needed. Now my title to the Premier League preview for Game Week 2 was, can Spurs put pressure on Conte? And obviously they failed to do that. And a lot of people were saying that's all they're good at doing is putting pressure on. And they failed to do that. They failed to get a result. When it came back to 1-1, I thought, oh, here we go. Spurs are going to get one here. But then Chelsea hit them straight back, and Chelsea got a fantastic result. They really did need that result, and they showed the determination that won in the league last season. And maybe that's a bit of a positive for Antonio Conte, with them missing some key players in the side for them to have that. But again, there was some negatives for them as well. And I don't think it was a perfect performance from them. And I think they showed why they may struggle without the likes of Diego Costa up top for them, because they're going to miss him. No Nemanja Matic as well. That's a big blow for them. And can Bakayoko, look, he's a good signing, but can he really, really replace him? I'm not too sure. Not in the immediate term. It's the same with Morata. Morata's quality, but is he going to immediately replace that presence of Diego Costa? Not for at least a season or two. So very interesting in terms of Chelsea, but they got a crucial 3 points, which is what they needed, and fair play to them. What are your thoughts on that Chelsea victory? Get your comments in below. We're close to 250 likes now, so get hitting that like button as well. What do I think of the Jones and Bailly partnership, says Usman Fiaz? I think we should keep it together for as long as possible. Hopefully Jones can keep his fitness. Obviously in the season you'll have to rotate, but while we've got a game a week, we should play Bailly and Jones together again. Bailly's going to miss Champions League football, so keep him in the Premier League 11 because he's going to miss the first group game in the Champions League. Give Jones a run. We want to see Jones play a full season without getting injured or having a long layoff. I've been really, really happy with his performances, but we know that he can perform like that. It's whether he can stay fit. If Phil Jones can stay fit for all the season, then Victor Lindelof will find it hard to get into the team. That's my opinion on that one. I think Victor Lindelof will come good eventually for Manchester United, and I'm not judging him just yet. But my opinion is if Bailly and Jones stay fit, it'll be hard to take them out of the side, particularly as the first choice centre-half partnership. But that's what we'll talk about Manchester United today. Obviously talking there about Tottenham and their curse at Wembley. Can you see it continuing in the Premier League, or is it just one of those things? They played a very good Chelsea side, and in the next game they might win at home. But what do you think about Spurs and the Chelsea game? Credit to Batshuayi's finish for Spurs, though, world class, as Andy Taylor. I'd like to see 38 Premier League games from Jones, wouldn't we all, mate? Love you, Adam, says BU. I love you guys too. Thank you very much for getting involved. Conte for Wally of the season for letting Matic go. Francesca Newt, huh? Clinton Diaz says true. I don't know what show you're saying true about. Manchester is saying we are linked with left back Sessignon. Jerome McCafferty says Smalling played well during the Super Cup. And Jones and Rojo class partnership that was like for 2 months last season, says 3 ends. And it was Bailey and Smalling as well, wasn't it? Kane hates August, says Jack Wally. His drought in August continues yet again. So that's your comments right now. And now we move on to the Manchester City against Everton game. And straight after this, we will have that Fantasy League update for you. So Manchester City against Everton. Manchester City and Everton dropping points, meaning West Bromwich Albion, Huddersfield and Manchester United are the only teams that have a perfect record in the Premier League so far. Manchester United, Huddersfield and West Bromwich Albion have all kept 2 clean sheets as well. United scoring 8 goals, Huddersfield getting 4 and West Brom scoring 2. So it shows you how important it is to keep clean sheets in the Premier League. But obviously, it's very, very early days. We're not suggesting that it's going to stay like this for the rest of the season, although I hope United keep setting the pace at the top of the Premier League. So we move on to Manchester City and Everton. Good result for those sides around them, like ourselves, like Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, etc. That Man City and Everton dropped points playing each other. Wayne Rooney with the opening goal, making it 1-0 to Everton. A fantastic finish it was as well. Probably poor keeping. It went through his legs. It took a deflection, hit the post. But it was a good shot by Wayne Rooney. He loves scoring a goal against Manchester City, and he registered his 200th Premier League goal, which is an absolutely fantastic record. I think 183 of them are for Manchester United, 17 of them for Everton. I think that's the record. But absolutely fantastic from Wayne Rooney, and another milestone for him in his long, successful career. Long may it continue. But I think his performance was quite poor, and I was surprised he lasted on the pitch for so long. I was surprised he never got took off on the 70th minute mark. Kyle Walker got sent off. The second yellow was probably harsh. A little bit of clever work by Holgate, was it? Or was it Calvert Lewin? I think it was Lewin. But yeah, it was clever work by him, but it was a poor decision by the referee. Another poor decision at 1-1 to send off Morgan Schneidlin, who got the ball on Aguero, and the referee gave him a second yellow and sent him off. So 2 poor decisions for the second yellows on both red cards. But overall, probably a fair result. Everton did dig in. But in the first half, Everton were good. In the second half, they played like they had 10 men for the majority of it, and Man City had 11 men. So that was a little bit disappointing to see. They tried to hold on to that 1-0. And playing against the Manchester City side, who are going to commit a lot of men forward, and with them missing a fullback, is it really like they're missing a player when you're attacking consistently? And eventually they got a breakthrough. Man City were probably lucky not to... Everton were probably lucky not to concede a second goal and obviously concede all 3 points. But they held on for a 1-1 draw, which gave them a point. Obviously, both teams now have 4 points, which means, as I said, West Brom United and Huddersfield are the only teams with maximum points at this moment. But Wayne Rooney with his 200th goal. What's your favourite Wayne Rooney goal in the Premier League? Is it the one that he announced himself on the scene with when he scored against Arsenal for Everton? Is it his goal for Manchester United, the bicycle kick against Manchester City? Is it the volley against Newcastle? What is your favourite Wayne Rooney goal? Get your comment in below. Remember, it has to be in the Premier League. So you can't say, for example, the one in the Champions League final or a goal for England. You have to say one of his goals in the Premier League. Fantasy Football Time says Usman Fiaz. That is almost very, very near, and we will be checking out the fantasy football as soon as I've checked out a few of your comments. So keep it locked here We will be updating you on my points in the fantasy football and, of course, yours as well. Manchester is ready to overhead against City. 14th October against Liverpool, first hard game of the season, says stress games. His 250th for United. One comment, yeah, he's United against Stoke. That was a good goal. Usman says that as well. Overhead against City, says Mark Harris. Ilshad said against City or Newcastle. Mo was at the empty Huddersfield seat, says Jigger. The one where it sponged off his knee, says Everton could have got 3 points, not obvious. Overhead against City, says Jerome. The Rooney celebration, says Abdi, it was quality, wasn't it? And did you see that little kid looking up at him, smiling? If you hadn't checked my Twitter at Adam McKola, I've put it up there. It's a fantastic image. And Wayne Rooney celebrating, and there's some kid dressed in red fittingly, smiling, looking up at him. Get hitting that like button. We're very, very close to 300 likes right now. And right about now, we are going to move on. Everyone's saying his bicycle kick against Man City and his goal against Newcastle. His halfway line goal against West Ham, says Clinton Diaz. He said Villa, but I knew he meant West Ham. City overrated. Halfway versus West Ham's favourite goal for Bartek as well. And Rooney is a legend, which I think is a nice point to leave it on, says Yusuf. So, moving on now, guys, and we're moving on to the Fantasy 11 update. So, do you want to see how many points I got? Do you want to see? Do you want to see? Here we go. There are my points. Now, hopefully you can see them all. Hopefully it's coming up good enough for you. But if it isn't, I'll fix that for next time. And it's something you can let me know on improving in the comments below. Because remember, I am testing some new software today. So if you're having any issues with it, or you can't read something, or you need something more clearer on the screen, then let me know. But my team, Lloris in goal, who got 1 point. David Luiz, who got 4 points. Williams, who got 6 points. Ashley Williams played for Everton today. Now, you guys will be thinking, huh? 6 points. He got subbed on 60 minutes when the game was 1-0, which means Ashley Williams gets clean sheet points for me. That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ronald Coleman, for substituting Williams and giving me a few more points. Fosu Mensah got 2 points. So my back four of Lloris, 1 point. Fosu Mensah, 2 points. That's 3. Williams, 6 points. And David Luiz, 4 points. So that's 13 points for 4 players. That's not good enough at all. That's not good enough at all. Then we've got Pogba on 15 points. Ali on 2 points. Mane on 8 points. David Silva on 2 points. Chicharito on 13. Lukaku on 12. 1 for Defoe. And my position in the Adam McKola League is 220th. Now my total points is 26, 28, 36, 38, 53, 55, 61, 65, 66. My total points is 66, and I've moved up the table to 220th from 343rd position. Now I'm seeing that you guys can't read this, and I should have also included my total points, so I promise I will include that the next time round, and I'll make it easier for you guys to read all of that. And I do apologise. Andy Pandy says, I wouldn't mind at all if you talk real football or reading comments discussing. I've been doing that for the whole show, mate. I don't know if you've been here or not for the whole thing, but I have done that for the whole show. So we will continue to do that as well. Guys, if you're struggling reading the code, then put it landscape on your phone, guys. Put it landscape on your phone. Come on. The Dream Team code is 358 4389 812 434. Yes, X Demos, put it in the comments. X Demo, you absolute legend. I'm going to put it in the comments now as well. So 1 second, I'm going to get it and I'm going to put it in the comments. X Demo, copy paste. X Demo, I love you, mate. Absolutely loved you. There you go. That is the code for the fantasy football. And next time I'll make it more readable for you. I promise that. Anyway, moving on to standings now. And here are the standings in the Adam McKola TV League. Now, we've had a change at the top of the table. We've had Ospina Colada knocked off the top by Jamie Smith. Smith 11. He's knocked him off the top by 1 point. He's had a great week. He got 74 points. He had 17 more points than John Rodgers, and he's gone right ahead of him with 1 point more. So fair play to him. Ospina Colada is right there though, as is Brody Dunn as well on 165 points with Podkaku FC. Like I said, I am 220th. I'm 220th at this moment in time. So yeah, that's the situation at this moment in time at the top of the Adam McKola League. And as you can see, the code is here. There's a code. It's Premier League Fantasy Football, fantasy.premierleague.com. Anyway, guys, this has been an absolute... Shall I put that back on for you? I'll put that back on for you while I'm wrapping up. Jack Petrovic finally caught a screen. Is that you, Man United God? Man United God says that's him. This is the Premier League Fantasy Football, mate. This is the Premier League Fantasy Football. This is the Fantasy Football. Anyway, guys, that has been Adam McKola TV. I have been Adam McKola. This has been the Premier League review. Remember, this was a new show. I've tested some new things. So if you didn't like something of what I've done, then let me know. If there's something I can improve in the stream, like the Fantasy Football 11 and the points and all that, and my total and all that stuff, then I will, of course, do that. But thank you very much for keeping it locked to Adam McKola TV. Thank you very much for liking the video, subscribing if you're a new subscriber. We're on 39,587 subscribers, so 413 from that 40k target. Once we hit that target, we set a new target for the end of the year. So get subscribing, get liking, get commenting, get sharing. Get your feedback in the comments below as well. And for now, guys, I have been Adam McKola. I am out of here.